So I want to chop it up with y'all real quick for a few in regards to this Nipsey Hussle, Big U situation that broke out on the West Coast a few days ago. So federal authorities this week announced that more than a dozen Rolling 60 Crip members and associates, including Eugene Big U Henley, have been charged in a sprawling criminal case. Henley, who helped launch rapper Nipsey Hussle's career, has been accused in a federal complaint of running a mafia-like criminal enterprise that carried out a series of racketeering crimes, including extortion, human trafficking, fraud, and the 2021 murder of the aspiring rap musician. Wow. But that does not surprise me. It does not surprise me. And I also want to show y'all this video clip here. You know how they talk about the young generation is, mindless, clueless when it comes to posting things online, showing their level of toxicity and ignorance. Well, this just goes to show you right here, age does not it does not matter. If a man has a gray in their beard, gray on top of their head, it don't matter because you got young fools and you got old fools. So let's look at this video clip and we're going to continue on with some commentary.
Gonna make it out. Gonna make it out.
Don't matter. You're nice, go hard.
Movie production in the hood. That's how we do it, man.
Top flight, baby. Security.
GB running this here movie set in the hood.
Come on out here.
Coming out here and checking in with GB, getting these movies done. You better know it. You know what I mean? Anytime you want to do movies in the hood, just check it in. We can make sure it's done. Movies, videos. But if you don't check it in,
Oh well. Check your ass out.
we gonna check you in, all right. We gonna check in all of your equipment. We gonna check in all of your equipment.
We got young fools and we got old fools. So it ain't discriminatory when it comes to common sense. And people like this, 2025 going on, moving forward, 2026 just moving forward, we got to get people like this out of the paint forever. We talk about this now, Big U situation, the diddlers in our communities, this whole P. Diddy situation, these little pro-black gatekeepers. They want to come across as pro-black and caring about the community, but behind closed doors, they're a scumbag, And we have too many people like this in our communities that will come into your community, say all the right stuff in these interviews. I know Big U been on the Art of Dialogue, or is it Vlad TV? Can't remember which one, but he's, been going around on podcasts sounding like a, let's keep the peace, stop the violence, put the guns down, let's talk, let's sort it out. Him being a supposedly a gang interventionist, but he's doing this. The whole, what is it? The trafficking, extortion, and all this other stuff. But none of that surprised me. And also a part of the whole Nipsey Hussle unaliving. I can't say the M word because I know how YouTube kind of looks at certain words that's, said in videos. But people like this we need to get them out of the paint that talk about this whole empowerment thing, but they will come into the community just to disarm you and do a lot of this criminal organization, mafia-like stuff under the table, and then pass out turkeys on Thanksgiving just to clear their conscience conveniently. And this is why I talk about the state of manhood. This is why I talk about the deceptive spirit in a lot of these men today. Because just like Big U, who does he have around him? A bunch of men, a team of scandalous men. Who did P. Diddy have around him? A bunch of scandalous men, helping him get away with it. Turning around, making sure the exit doors are locked. Making sure people are, get violated. And nobody's coming. Nobody, they know where the bones and the bodies are buried. Too many people like this and a bunch of yes men simps. So if we want to talk about simp, like I said in my video a couple days ago, if we want to talk about yes men and the epitome of simp, this is the epitome of men simping for each other. at the expense of the community, at the expense of people being trafficked, at the expense of women being sexually SA'd or R-worded. But hey, what am I saying? You know, I'm not talking about nothing. I'm not talking about much. But then y'all get upset when women try to bring their grievances out, when they try to mention things that has happened to them. I don't understand why we have so many men out here that jumps at the defense of so many men. Because from where I'm from and what I've seen, women in my family has been violated, has been abused. Women outside of my family I've seen get violated and abused. And just, even if you haven't seen it, you can't just write people off and just say, oh man, she making this stuff up, or they making this stuff up. Because apparently also with this whole Big U situation, supposedly word broke that when you shoot a music video in that neighborhood, in this area, if you shoot a short film in his area or a major film, he's charging people $100,000 just to check in. But I bet you he's not doing that to them white folks. Oh, I went there. I said it. I bet you ain't doing that to them white folks. I bet you ain't doing that to them other folks. But when it comes to people that look like me, when it comes to people that look like you, if me and you share the same skin color, I bet you he's doing that to them, charging check-in fees. I would love to see the list of the people that had to check in with Big U and his crew. I would bet my last dollar. I would bet my bank account that nobody on that check-in list is white. But we have a lot of these people out here like the P. Diddy's, the Umars, the Big U, that talk all that pro-black stuff and stop the violence and all this other stuff, but behind closed doors violating their own people. You know, just like the P. Diddy, when he did the Revolt TV, you know, this is for black people, this is for black media, black empowerment, and this and that. But lo and behold, majority of the people on his list, that's his victims, are black. Over 99% of the people. When it comes to violating women, violating men and children, black people. Big U, I'm sure I can bet my bank account on it. The people that had to check in with him were blacks. Black Americans that look like me, look like you. And, you know, if you happen to be looking at this video and you are a person of a different race, different color, I guess this message may not be for you. But this is a message that has to get out there. But this is why I talk about the deceptive spirit in men. We have a lot of gatekeeping mindset men like this, that once people like that, the Big U's, once they get a little power and get a little notoriety, they eventually start feeling themselves, and they can't help it but to have that exploitative spirit. Man, put the guns down. Y'all stop the violence. Man, y'all stop doing this to each other so I can do this to you. You know, disarming everybody so they can arm themselves. This is why I say, man, 2025 ain't no joke moving forward. We got to start getting these people out of the way. These fake people in our communities, these rappers that's spreading nothing but demonic messages on the radio and on the airwaves, these rappers out of the paint, these reality show people out of the paint, these folks that look like me, that look like us, but reinforce the negative stereotype. Do nothing but hold us back. We got to get these people out of the paint. And as men, it's our job to step in the way of men like the Big U's, men like these the Diddy's, and all these other ungodly men in our communities. It's time for us to step up. It's time for us to start saying, nah, bro, we turning you in. Because the only thing that happens when people like that linger around in our communities is that their criminal-like organization does nothing but get big and get bigger and get bigger. And they start employing more people. And more people doing more dirt, doing more harm. We have to start getting toxicity in our community out of the paint. We have to. And talking about the whole Nipsey Hussle thing, apparently Nipsey Hussle signed with him. I want to say they say back in 08, 09, and then towards the end of Nipsey's contract, Big U got word that Nipsey wasn't going to re-sign. So he's better off being deceased under my label, where I can, hold on to his rights, some of his assets, which Nipsey was a very intelligent man. He did a lot of intelligent work to make sure his children was set up and Lauren was set up, if in case, with the whole marathon store and all this other endeavors that he had on the side. But we gotta talk about this, man. We gotta get these type of people in our communities out of the paint, because they're doing nothing but more harm than helping. But anyway, man, I saw this and I just wanted to have a little dialogue on it real quick. But leave your opinion, leave your comment down below, man. Let me know what you think about this situation. But I hope if they're able to prove all this stuff, the mafia ties stuff going on, he deserved every day, every month, every year, every hour, every minute, every second in a jail cell. Peace.